Very good question.
Hey everyone, I'm so excited to welcome you to this first episode of the series 73 Questions with Healthcare Professionals. Today we have our first guest, Dr. Uday Bodhankar. There was just so much valuable information in the 73 questions that he answered. So we will be dividing this interview into three subparts, and this is the first part. Hello, Dr. Bodhankar.
Yes.
Welcome to the series of 73 Questions with Healthcare Professionals. This is the first episode of the series, so are you ready to get started?
Yes, of course. Naushad Khan, I'm really ready. I'm excited to answer to all your queries.
Lovely. Let's get started with the 73 questions. Could you please introduce yourself?
My name is Dr. Uday Bodhankar. My specialty is neonatology, newborn specialization, and pediatrics. We work for the care of newborn, children, and adolescents, three of us. And I got my children hospital in Nagpur, Ramdaspet.
Okay, so where did you go to medical school?
I was admitted in Government Medical College, Nagpur in 1972. That was the year when I got admitted.
Where did you do your specialization from?
My specialization was pediatric. I did my diploma in child health in Bombay, CPS. And after that, I completed my MD in pediatric from Government Medical Nagpur.
Wow, that's like kind of a way background.
Yeah.
So when did you decide you wanted to be a doctor?
In fact, I decided to become doctor. You can see here, yeah, I decided because of my sister who was always admitted in medical college, and she was down with cirrhosis of liver with hypertension with blood vomiting. So I used to visit her as a child in medical college Nagpur from Mahal. That time I decided I must become doctor.
That's a very touching motive.
She's my sister, elderly, but unfortunately we lost her when I got admission in medical in 1972.
Sorry to hear that, doctor. So moving on to the next question, what specialization did you have in mind on the first day of medical school?
Because I got admitted in medical in 1972. Since the day admission, I wanted to become uh, doctor, but because of my sister who was admitted in pediatric that time as a child, so my decision was to become pediatrician right from the day one when I got admission in medical college Nagpur.
Wow, so it was from day one. So if not for a pediatrician, what other medical specialist would you have been?
If not pediatrician, I would have been physician. More so a physician like cardiologist, but not surgeon at all.
So on that note, what is one medical specialty you would say is not for you?
See, actually all medical specialties are very important and very important. They are equal. Nobody is less. But it depends on your uh, personality, your vision, mission, and your interest. So the thing which I will not take in my life would have been brain surgery, neurosurgery, because it is too much tension and it too much time consuming.
Okay.
Yeah, I will not take a neurosurgery or cardiac surgery. Otherwise, anything will be done.
Okay, I see. Thank you for that answer. So the next question, what is your favorite memory from your childhood?
See, look, memories of my childhood. If you want, see, I studied in a very a small school in Mahal, Lokanji Shah. Then I shifted to Shivan Bharat School, Mahal. From there, because my sister was admitted in medical college, so I wanted to become doctor. Unfortunately, in my school, Sipan school, there was no biology subject. So I decided to go to the school which was having biology main subject in matric, and that was only one school, Hadasa school. So I decided to go to Hadasa school. I think that memory, how I got admission in Hadasa, that is what if I want to mention you.
Yeah, sure. We would love to hear that.
That time, Hadasa school, Nagpur was one of the topmost school in the, not Nagpur, Vidarbha, in Maharashtra. So getting admission there, you need to score more than 90%. You have to be merit like that. So in that case, I was scoring more than 90 in 8th class in Sivan school. But that time, because it was a school with high mark and it was not easy to get. So one day when we were playing in front of school at 12 noon, scorching sun in May. That time I saw the board of Hadasa school. I said, "Can I try?" And so I was with clothes dirty with mud, with chappal. Went to the school. I said that Pune said, "Sir, 12:30 was it scorching. Sir, what do you want?" I said, "I want to meet principal." He said, "Sir, do you have appointment?" I said, "No, I don't have appointment." He saw me from above. He said, He said, sir, you cannot meet him. In that case, what happened that it was a silent zone. So principal inside, I think he heard my. I said, no, I want to meet him anyhow because I want to get admission. So he called the student. He said, who is there? He said, some student there come. He want to meet you. He said, please send him. I was shocked. I went inside to headmaster Bede. He said, yes, why Mala, my sister is very serious, always admitted in medical college. I want to become doctor. So I want admission in your school because your school is the only school where Balaji English medium is there. He said, how much percentage you got? I said, in 8, I got more than 95%. He said, okay, done. I was shocked. Mala, are you sure? I was in my tears. I was crying in front of it. I wanted to become doctor. Please give me admission. He said, don't worry. Your admission is then I kept quiet. He said, yes, any doubt? Yes, sir. Sorry. Suppose tomorrow I come with my certificate, and if you say that some VIP has come, I will not get admission. I will be losing 7 months. Oh, he pulled my look. Okay. No, he called the student, bring the note. And then he wrote, what is your name? Uday Bodhankar, admitted in 9th class, Hadasa School, and he signed and is it okay? Yes, sir. Thank you. And then I went outside. My friends were waiting. They said, I told them I got admission. They said, are you full? This school is VVIP. You can't get Malari. I got. Then we enjoyed. Then I came home and I told my father that I got admission. He also did not believe. He said, Uday, that school is very difficult to get. I said, I got admission. You know what he said, Principal Bede? You bring tomorrow the transfer certificate from your school and bring 12 rupees. How much? 12 rupees for 1 year. 11 rupees fee for 1 year, 1 rupee per year for swimming pool. That was the only school you can imagine, Naushad Khan, in the whole Maharashtra, which school was having swimming pool.
Wow.
I'm talking that time. I'm talking 68.
1968.
Can you believe there was no school in Maharashtra, Nagpur, in Bombay. So I said, okay. Then I took 11 rupees. I went to my school, Sivan Brother, but they said, sir, Uday, we don't want to give you transfer certificate. So you're a merit student. I cried in front of principal. I said, sir, I want to remain in your school, but you don't have college. So give me transfer certificate. I want to take it to Hadasa School. They said, they discussed something and then finally they said, okay, this boy is genuine, let him help him. They give me transfer and I took it and took admission in Hadasa. I think that is the biggest change or team in my life across school is concerned.
That's just such a big thing.
I know.
That really makes us believe that if you really want something, you just have to work for it and ask for it.
Perseverance and try. See, you don't lose anything in trying. At the most, you lose.
Yeah.
But if you don't try, you don't get anything. That's
Yeah, if that day you wouldn't have even asked,
Yeah.
then, right? Wow, we would have missed
Yeah.
a gem in the world.
The credit goes to teacher like Bide sir who was there, Pandey madam, all teacher of Hadasa School who taught me biology, who taught me to get into medical school.
That's such an amazing story. Now, moving on to the next question. You yourself are a celebrity in medicine. And as we can see here, we have your pictures with some of the most amazing people from all around the world. Like we can see here, we have your picture with Sachin Tendulkar, we have your picture with Queen Elizabeth II, with Amitabh Bachchan. So the question is, after meeting all of these amazing people, who has impacted you the most?
Actually, the most one is Honorable Abdul Kalam sir, who was the President of India. I wanted to meet him like anything. You can see him here, Abdul Kalam, next to my book. So he was the person who impacted me because he was a scientist, he was a human being personified, and beyond that, he was a person, a scientist of world repute. And earlier was President of India, but number one was he. Secondly, he got inspired by the person in my life was my parents. They are my parents. They are the first one. Actually, they were the one with whom I dedicate my life to them, and then of course my family, my sister, because of whom I could become doctor, and then my family, my family is there. My wife Suniti, my father, my son Nikhil, my daughter Priyanka, and all, and of course my father-in-law, mother-in-law who were there, who were also close to the pot. I think they are not in. I think they also made me. You can see here in this picture along with President of India. Yeah, here next to my father. There is Mr. Vasan Sate, who was was my father-in-law. And another thing you can imagine here, in my marriage, Honorable Indira Gandhi, she attended my marriage. And
Wow.
yeah, and all this is because of my father-in-law, who was very close to Indira Gandhi. So these people, I will say, few of them. Of course, I was honored to meet Elizabeth Queen, the Queen Elizabeth of UK, which is very difficult to meet because I was the Secretary General of Commonwealth Association for Health and Disability. Of which she is the chief patron. Otherwise, very difficult to meet the Queen Elizabeth. I was invited in Buckingham Palace and introduced to her, and then I was felicitated because of my uh, services to disabled children, able children. I think that is a memorable event. Next to President of India's function, where I was installed as the President of India IAP, and then this. So these two things, they impacted my life.
Wow. So, a backstory for our viewers. I've always been a patient of Dr. Uday Bodhankar for the first 18 years of my life. Whenever I used to come to the clinic, I would stand here and look at all these images and be just amazed by what an amazing physician he is. And also, he has been one of the biggest factors of me choosing medicine and being in med school right now. So, thank you, Dr. Bodhankar. So, now moving on to the next question. What is your favorite med school memory?
The medical school memory favorite, you can say, but it is good or bad. In 1972, when we got admission, there was ragging. So,
Oh my god.
so memory goes back to my school days, 72. At that time, we were not allowed to drive car, scooter. I don't have car, scooter, but you have to come on bicycle. You have to have military card. Then you have to wear the jhola type pant and so this thing. And you have to appear like you are a simple man like this, and you have to salute from entry to the entry of the gate to the your classroom. Salute all the seniors. So that was our memory 72 back. Yeah.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
interesting. I would say please don't track, but yeah, that's interesting memory
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
have.
In fact, next year we tried to bring down ragging system. In 1973, we had Dr. Marwa sir late Padma Shri. He was the dean. That time we tried to bring down the ragging system, to close down ragging system with the help of our senior and my classmates. Were very well-renowned people like Dr. Sikant Jiskar, Dr. Vedpakar Mishra. They are my batchmates. So many of
Wow.
people they tried, and we could bring down ragging incident to zero up to there.
Wow, that's a great step taken by you to curb dragging down. So the next question, what you would have been if not be a doctor?
If not doctor, I would have been an activist.
Activist.
See, my parents taught me since birth empathy. Empathy means if you try to wear the shoes of the person who is coming to you, like what he feels about you. That empathy, mission, vision has been taught. Sincerity, dedication, devotion has been taught by my parents, and I wanted to imbibe that culture to be an activist, to a social, be that social man or doing some social service. Like in my life, I came in contact with Honorable late Baba Amte. I came in contact with most of the people who are doing social work. So I think I want to follow those people better than anybody else.
Such a nice answer for the question because empathy is what
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
in medicine need. Now, what's your favorite thing about being a pediatrician?
Favorite thing is to play with the child, to see the child, and to engage with him with sympathy, empathy, and vision and mission. I think I enjoy seeing my children throughout the day, even meeting all pediatric on the road, off the road also. I think that is what I enjoy. I enjoy my profession very well.
Wow, how nice of you to call your patients your children. I love that. Okay, on that note, tell me one thing that you don't like about pediatrics.
Actually, there is nothing I don't like about pediatrician. Being pediatrician, because pediatrician are the person who are very close to the heart of kids, very close to the heart of parents, very close to the heart of all people who care for them like grandparents. So I think I won't think anything is only thing is with there that pediatrician has to be 24/7 available.
Oh, is
Yeah,
it? Wow.
they call me from America, UK, USA, or India. They call me 12 midnight, 1 a.m. I pick up the phone, and so that disturbs my sleep. But I don't because medical emergency in pediatrics you can't take lightly.
Right,
So
right.
I don't think that is a negative point. I will take it as a positive one.
Which healthcare system do you prefer to work in? Government hospitals or private practice?
No, in fact, I wanted always to be in government. Like I did my DCH from Bombay, MD in Nagpur, I was lecturer in pediatric medical Nagpur. I wanted to serve government because there you can serve the BPL, below poverty line people. So that service to the mankind, humanity, the pleasure, and the satisfaction you get in serving these people, you don't get in private. In private, they have to pay and they have to come to me. So I think I would prefer government job, but because of some technicalities, some what is going, I have to resign, and then I started my practice. Though it was not my bread and butter, I started, but in private practice also we try to maintain that the mission. We don't charge those who come poor. We charge less for the middle lower, and we charge our fee which is there for the common people who can afford. So I think that we can do. But if you ask me, I think between government and private, I will prefer government.
What's the challenge about your specialty, pediatrics?
Challenging thing in pediatric is that the children don't speak. You have to judge from their appearance, their cry, their symptom which is there on the face, or symptom which are described by parents. So number thing which has been taught by my esteemed teacher to me is that you look to the child when he enters with the mother in the lap, whether he is sick, whether he is gasping, he is doing respiration, or he is dehydrated. So most of the thing you have to diagnose on the appearance of the child who is coming to. Then touch, then other thing, then you have to, lastly you have to do the auscultation because child is very irritable. So I think the most challenging thing is to examine a child who is cranky, who is very cranky and who is crying, and then a child where parents are deaf and dumb. Parent cannot express what his child has got. That time it becomes a challenging for us that what child we either ask, what is that? So they do with the sign which we don't know. So in that case it becomes challenging, but our knowledge, our experience taught by our teacher tell us what the child has got 80-90%, whether he has got fever, whether he has cough, pneumonia, diarrhea, dehydration, all these things, or convulsion, that we can diagnose only by seeing examination and then palpation, percussion, auscultation. I think most challenging is to examine a child who is a very temperament, who is a very cranky and who is crying very much.
So true.
Only child who can experience more than 3 to 5 years, who can tell you what बच्चे तेरे को क्या है, बुखार है, खांसी है, सर्दी. That time that can help you. Otherwise, less than 2 to 3 years is a challenging thing. Newborn child most challenging.
Very
You don't
challenging.
know,
Yeah. So, hypothetical question: if you were a car salesman, how would you sell your specialty to a medical student?
Actually, to tell you, Naushad, we don't have to sell our pediatric. Our pediatric is known as the most challenging branch of medicine, where you will be surprised that most of the merit students, if you take 10 merit, long back now, I'm not talking now, out of all the 10 merit, out of 50%, they were opting for pediatric as a specialty because of challenge, because of this thing, and because it was the most demanding. But now, unfortunately, to tell you frankly, it is not giving you a lot of money. So now the trend has changed. The student, they want to take the line where there is a return back money. But satisfaction wise, challenging wise, number one still is pediatric. I don't think anybody can challenge that.
Now, since we are talking about pediatrics, do you have kids?
Yeah, I have kids. One is in America named Nikhil. My son, my daughter-in-law, Ketki, his son is Ayan, and the other daughter is not here. She is Ayan. So I have got one son which is family who is in America more than 20 years, and one daughter who is there on my left side. She is Priyanka. She is a lawyer, LLB, LLM. She is a lawyer.
Wow.
So she is with us. So I have got 2 kids.
Now, since we are talking about pediatrics and you have kids, how has being a pediatrician impacted your relationship with your kids?
So frankly speaking, when I started practice, that time these kids were small. And so, sorry to say, as a pediatrician in practice, you don't have time for your family. I must admit here, and I must express my gratitude to my wife Suniti that she used to take care of them. I used to take care of other children than my family because since 7 a.m. till 12 midnight, we were busy. 19 hours a day, more than that, within practice, which was, I started after, till I was in medical college, I was enjoying relation with the kids. But I started in 88, my practice here. From that time, I got so busy that in a day, we have to see 100 patients, emergency, serious patient. That time, you don't get time for your own kids. So that time, my child used to care, Baba, you are not coming for my parent meeting, you are not coming for my. I said, sorry beta, I cannot say I don't have time. He said, Baba, you have to find time. I said, yes. I should tell parent, teacher, sorry madam, I cannot come because that's the time when I see the patient. But that is not an excuse. So by your channel, I will apologize to my both kids, Priyanka and Nikhil, that I could not devote tonic time to them, which they should have because of my professional commitment. Not that I do not want to. I would have been in government service, I would have got done easily.
That's such a hard trade-off with your profession. Wow. So moving on. Wow, look at your clinic. I just love it. You know, I've always loved it as a child and I still love it. Look at the ceiling. It just looks so beautiful. Like, wow, even the height scale. Look at that. It's just like an eye candy for the kids all around. Just the best place for kids to be. Feels like I'm a child again. So now the next question. How many hours a week do you work?
See, in a day, I work, see, from working with pediatrics from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. now. But before that, I was working from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 12 hours.
That's
working wise, if you ask me other work than this social work, so it starts from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 12 hours, 8 daily, even now.
And for our viewers, he had 3 more appointments before this, even after it being a Sunday.
I enjoy being social, being attending social function like any child, patient marriage, patient birthday, anything. If they invite me, I enjoy that. And of course, I have got attachment with NGO like IAP, Pediatric Association, NNF, then Commonwealth Association, COMHAD, UNICEF, WHO, WHO, lot of and other NGOs like Rotary, Law, NGC. So I enjoy being there, interacting with people, interacting with kids, and doing something for the society. That is my passion and my vision and mission.
You're just so inspiring, Dr. Bodhankar. So the next question, what does your average day look like?
If you are talking now at 70 years age, my day starts at 7 a.m. onward. I get up 7 o'clock, 7, 8 o'clock, then I try to do some meditation, yoga, pranayam, anulom vilom. Then because of my disability, I had an accident, I try to do some exercise, some physiotherapy. It takes around half an hour and walking for 20-30 minutes in my own. We have got our own garden there. So totally from 8 to 9, I try to devote to the meditation, exercise, and physiotherapy.
On average, how many patients do you see in a day?
See, if you count now, it is less. It is around 30 to 50 a day between 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. 8 hours. But if you talk previously,
Wow,
it was in hundreds.
of course.
When I started practice, we used to be more than 100, which is not correct, but people they want to see me. So I should start from 7, 8 a.m. till 12 midnight. But now I restricted my time from 10 to 6 p.m.
Who are you most thankful to from your hospital team?
My hospital team, of course, I am thankful to first the administrator, my wife, Uday Bodhankar. She looks after everything. I don't look after nothing. Another thing in my team, we have got dedicated nurses like Mangala Chande, who is there with me since 25 years.
I remember her.
Yeah, you are the. She is there. Another Malti. Then there were two other. There are these staff who are there now. I think, and my RMOs who were working with me in the period days, it was Dr. Avinash Gawande who worked with me more than 8 years and who looked after me when I was serious, and Dr. Satvik Pawar, Dr. Aditi Revatkar, and many of them, Aditi Ulane, many of these people I can remember that I remember them as my RMO, as my dedication. Of course, many of the pediatricians who are practicing, they also dedicate their life to me.
This is, like all eye candy, like every kid would like to come here. Like,
Yeah.
all anime, wow. I hope you really enjoyed this interview. This is only the first part of the 3 subparts. The second part will be coming after this. Make sure to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let us know if you have any questions for Dr. Bodhankar, and we'll try and get them answered. So thank you so much for watching. See you in the next subpart.